Hello.
Hola.
Long time no see.
Right. Back at it again.
Back at it again on the blue couch.
Our comfy blue couch.
Yeah, we don't have a pillow today. I didn't realize that.
It'll be okay.
Okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. Work has been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just trying to, when it's the weekend, just trying to weekend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you going out soon?
Yes.
Tell us what your plans are.
I'm going to the Cowboy Carter tour.
I love
DC.
it.
I cannot wait.
What a time to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on the 4th of July.
On the 4th, yeah.
I actually love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoney chose that date.
Really?
Actually, yeah. Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the whole Cowboy Carter movement that's happening right now. I feel like it's so timely.
Yeah, it's so needed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Did you see the shit that just happened in North Carolina with that auto shop?
Yeah, it's going viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right now.
Like that shit. Okay, so we just had Juneteenth and everything. If y'all don't know, there's a auto shop in North Carolina that just went viral because they released their own fucking footage trying to embarrass somebody and only ended up
shooting themselves in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
So on the video, it's like the footage of their lobby, and they're talking about why is there a federal holiday tomorrow or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And somebody's like, oh, it's that Juneteenth. What
does that mean?
Why is everybody mad to have a day off?
In a frenzy.
What? You're welcome?
Go clock in if you don't want to be off.
Yeah,
go clock in.
Literally, choosing to work versus celebrating the end of slavery is
mm-hmm.
Actually wild to me. How are you not out in the streets celebrating the end of slavery?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then they're just the employees are laughing in the lobby about it, and one of them makes a comment oh, I think it's for reparations, and it's I
remember somebody. What is a Juneteenth?
Yeah. You actually need your ass beat for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a black woman in the lobby, and she is, here's all of this, and here's some basically ridiculing the holiday. So she gets up in all her glory and her dignity, and she's give me my car, give me my keys, I'm leaving.
She's very calm.
Very calm, chill.
Mm-hmm.
They decide to post a video of her simply walking out of their establishment in an attempt to embarrass her. Mm-hmm. And they ended up setting themselves up to be torn to fucking pieces. Mm-hmm. And the reviews are in hell. Yeah. They're in hell. It's giving 1.1. I'm scrolling on the reviews. Somebody was my car blew up. My car blew up. I left here and I didn't have an engine.
I saw a video. Somebody posted them driving by the shop, and there's literally no customers. Not a car on the rack.
Tumbleweed rolling by.
It's giving desert.
Yes. And so that's Juneteenth.
That's what Juneteenth will do for you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Happy Juneteenth.
Hello.
To that auto shop in North Carolina.
Big shout out to the lady that asked for her car and just left.
Yes, yeah. Queen. Mm-hmm. Queen behavior.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You don't need to get mad. You don't need to be confrontational. Leave that space.
Yep.
Okay? And apparently she took all her business with her because it's a ghost town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She took all of us with her.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's giving they're not going to meet the bottom line. So, yeah. And all of that, just seeing that news story and everything, all of it really was getting flashbacks to 2020.
What a time. What a time.
We do not talk about 2020 enough. I feel like we were in a fever dream. And we just chose to forget about it and go back to regular life. But it was actually a time that I can't even.
There was so much going on.
Yes. And that's what we really want to get into today. We really want to talk about Black tokenism and the trap of being like the token Black person at corporate, and how the go-to person, and how that was really like exasperated for us in 2020. So on top of having a pandemic, you know, people arguing about whether or not to wear a fucking mask, there is a massive movement that takes place, and Black people in corporate felt it on a very like just emotionally laborious level that I can't even like to this day really comprehend. And yeah, that's what we're getting into today.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Yes. I felt like when I was working at our old job, I got stuck in a lot of tokenism roles. And I think I'm always so bad at explaining. You will know what I'm saying when I explain it.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just letting you start. Yeah.
I feel like I am considered an acceptable Black person at work.
Yes, especially for where we
came from.
Working at, you were definitely the first person they had in mind when they had questions, comments, concerns to basically cover up their ass.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna call Kanesha first.
First. I felt like there's something about like the people we work, like white people in corporate, where they like looked at me and they're like, oh, this one's safe. Like I can ask this one these kind of questions because she's like she's my version of like an acceptable Black person. Like you'll remember when Kenya Moore, this person will forever be referred to as Kenya Moore on our show, but Kenya Moore had one time was sitting, there was a bunch of us standing around, and she was talking about how she lives in a very like upscale neighborhood, and there was me and a Black guy sitting next to me, and she looked at me and she's like, Kanesha, you could walk down our street no problem because you're a cutie patootie, but and then she turns to the Black guy and she's like, but somebody will probably call the cops on you.
To even say that, have that shit come out of your fucking mouth.
But like I want to give context that she was dead serious. She wasn't trying to point out any sort of bias in her neighborhood or criticize her neighborhood in any way. She was just like being like, you're acceptable, you're not. Like point blank, period.
In front of how many people?
Several.
Did anybody correct her?
I did.
Okay.
I was like, my favorite question is, what did you mean by that?
Head tilt.
Yeah. I was like, what did you mean by that?
Yeah.
And you know, there's always like this stuttering that happens afterwards to try to like explain.
Now they're on the fucking spot.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But what did you fucking mean by that for real? And she's like, no, but you know what I mean? Like, because of like how you are. And I'm like, how am I?
And then they start making up these lame ass excuses.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just so smiley. And
yeah. It was like, it was like that. Yeah.
You'd be fine.
Yeah. She called me approachable. Which is crazy because I work really hard to not be approachable.
You actually do.
Yeah, I don't smile at people. I'm not friendly in public. Like, if I'm just out somewhere, I don't want anybody to feel comfortable talking to me.
And you give people 90-day probations before they can even like have a full conversation with you.
Right.
And this is coming from real experience.
Yeah.
You know, like
a real look.
Yes. 90-day probation.
You are a proven result of my method, though.
It works.
It works.
It does
like
work.
It works. But like what she really meant was like, you are articulate and you're well spoken, so I feel like you don't fit the stereotype that I've built in my mind of what a Black woman or a Black person is.
And to, you know, when you were telling me that to the other person, I took it as if Kenya was saying that the other Black person was deemed scary.
Yeah, that's exactly what she meant.
Yeah.
Because they were also really articulate and well-spoken too.
They are.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why are you...
But they were like bigger, and it's like a man. And so they were like, you can't walk down the stairs like that. I can't. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. And I know that I was viewed that way at work. And a lot of times, to be honest, like I was very self-aware of that, and I would use it to my advantage all the time. Like I would find myself in situations where they were more receptive to me, and I would use it to get leverage and to try to affect change and shit like that. But it's also like an exhausting role to be in, because like I don't fucking identify with you, and I don't want to align myself with you. Like I am a Black person, and like I am viewing the world and having an experience at work that is Black, that you like aren't interested in knowing about, won't learn about. You're ignorant as fuck. Like I don't align with you. Like, so I hated usually being in that role, like unless it was going to be somehow advantageous or whatever.
Well, also they were like using you as the Google web page when Google is free and it's at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can actually go and do the work and do the resource, but I mean the research, but they flock to you. So
yeah, for all things like Black,
yeah,
all things like cultural, like yeah, anything like that, they would like ask me,
or any statements that they needed drafted. Like it was the craziest, the craziest.
Oh yeah,
thing.
I had to do everybody's emails all the time.
Yeah,
like write their emails and stuff.
You had to proofread a statement for the CEO.
Yes. Yes. Like it was actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. So that was really like my role at work around that time. I was on the diversity council. I was the only Black person on the diversity council. I want to say our diversity council at the time, it was like a joke. It was a joke. Like we would like have a monthly meeting, and everybody would say very like, it was giving all lives matter a lot of times. Like the diversity council was the epitome of like, can't we all just get along? It was just like giving quintessential. Yes. It was just like, it was just very corporate. There was like, it was not there for the sake of progress. It wasn't there to actually affect any kind of change. It was just like
there to say that they have a DEI.
Yes. So, we're in the middle of the pandemic, hits around like March. Things are really amping up, and so it's like a very contentious time at work. We were already in the trenches with management, the staff versus management, about just general safety with the pandemic. And then May hits and George Floyd is killed. And overnight everything changes, and it's like people, like it was like the most insane fucking whirlwind to be in as a Black person, because I feel like overnight everyone immediately started debating as to whether or not our life mattered. Like in bold lettering, Black Lives Matter. Like, and it was like, do Black Lives matter?
Especially in corporate spaces. Because I remember like when he died, the company that we were working for, they didn't even like initially like release a statement or anything to us like as employees. It was he died on like May 25th, and the protest started right after that, and I think it was like 3 weeks before they said anything. And the first thing that happened, the first thing that happened was they came to the diversity council, and they were like, they met with the whole council. They met with all of the CEO, met with all of us, the CEO and HR met with all of us and said, we really want to say something and bring awareness to this, and how do we do that? And it's crickets on the Zoom call. And then the VP, because each council or committee at work was assigned an executive had to oversee it. So the VP that was over our council, she goes, Kanesha, do you have any thoughts? And I'm like, what was your initial thought when she asked that?
I was pissed.
Okay.
I was like, you want me to tell you what to fucking say?
Yeah.
Right now? Like, I don't want to talk about this because I'm literally traumatized.
Yeah.
The news is in hell. All I'm doing is seeing black people. Like, I've seen this black man die a million fucking times on the internet, like crying for his mom, and then it's bringing up all of these other instances where like the police have killed people, and people are very comfortable just putting like black death on the internet and on the news. Like, you will just see the body, and so like I didn't want to fucking talk about it. In fact, work was like, there was this weird switch where like now going to work where we weren't talking about politics and stuff like that was actually like soothing for me at the time. Normally it was very frustrating and it was fucking annoying that like there was no social conscience at work, and like we just could not talk about politics at all. But then it got to the point where it's just like I went there for the escape, and so I was really annoyed when I was asked. And then again, you're like put in that role that you don't want to be in, of like,
and then they put you on the spot in front of everybody so that you can't decline it.
Yes, it was on the spot.
See,
it's in front of the CEO, HR, and the VP, and then the whole committee.
Yeah, and see, at that point, like, what are you supposed to say?
Right.
No.
Right. Yeah. Actually, looking back, that's exactly what I should have said.
Yeah.
I should have said, no, I don't actually have any thoughts.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So, but I mean, I answered them, and I gave like a short list of like some things that they could do, and I was, just like, I think initially like acknowledge it, like, yeah. Can you like say something, like this entire thing is happening and the country's like in shambles right now.
Black people are in shambles. You have employees who are black, and they need to hear something.
Yeah, exactly.
From you all that you actually give a fuck.
Right. And I don't remember, this happened like right before or right after, but the company ended up hiring like its first black executive. And I think it was like right after. So I think that was one of the first signifiers to me that like I think I am gonna like work with them about this and like be a support system or a supportive role to the executive team, because there was this living, breathing example that we were maybe moving in the right direction. And it was just a big deal that the first black executive got hired, because this is a really old company and there hadn't been one. And I think that statistically speaking, there's only about like 4% of black people in VP roles or in executive roles in the country. So it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
So I think that was one of the first signifiers to me that like, okay, I'm going to probably work with them on this, and like, and I also care about the conversation that they're trying to have. I want all of the black people at my job to feel like they're not in some like dystopia about this, because the thing is like, you are seeing the most like devastating, traumatizing shit in the news cycle, and then you're going to work and pretending that everything's fine. And that was my personal method of coping, but it's not everybody's, and it's not healthy either. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna work with them on this. And so we so from them coming to the Diversity Council and talking to us as a whole, and then me kind of getting pushed into that role, I ended up being like this weird special advisor. Like I was like their black, they're like black informant.
So unpaid labor. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. It literally. Yeah. And it just like it happened so. It was so weird. It was really unofficial. But suddenly I'm on calls with executive teams, and like I'm putting together stuff, and I'm doing all of this work. I help put together the statement that they send out to the staff, first acknowledging it. And it didn't go out under my name, of course.
I remember seeing that.
Yes.
I remember seeing it come through my email.
Yes, right.
It had you all over it.
Yeah.
Just to be very clear.
Yeah, thank you. The real ones knew it was me.
Of course. The verbiage. I was like, this is Kanesha.
Yeah. But obviously it went out under his name, like the CEO's name. And it's just like, looking back, I'm like, I would never ever do that again in my life.
Off. No.
Never in my, like, I wish I could go back to 2020 and shake myself and say, don't you ever fucking, what are you, a ghostwriter? Are you fucking crazy?
No,
they get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not. So
his name got put on your work.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Yeah, and that happened several times. Like, I was writing a lot of the communications that were going out about this and giving a lot of the suggestions in these meetings about things they can do, because they got together and they were basically like, oh, you know, and this is what was happening at the time, was like there's this sweeping like corporate changes that were being made where they were trying to rise to the occasion and visibly look like they were rising to the occasion, but not like actually. So like all these companies are suddenly like starting to have DEI conversations, and they're trying to like look like they're doing things differently.
I mean, the conversation is fine, but like, where's the action?
Right.
So we're talking, and that was one of the things that kind of frustrated me when I came onto DEI at that company, was just like, all right, we're constantly having these monthly meetings and we're talking about X, Y, and Z things that we want to do to make change and show progression within the company, but there's no said action plan for it.
Right. Exactly.
So,
yeah. And that, yeah. Yeah. And so it's funny because the diversity council I was on, they disbanded it after all this, and they formed the DEI committee. So they changed it from diversity to DEI, and then did this like crazy rebrand where they were like, remix.
And this was now under the black exec that had came on board. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Again, tokenism, because why is it being assigned to you? And
changed when you get here.
Yes.
So strategic.
Yes, but it's just like, why does this executive now have to do the DEI work? Like, that's so, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's so fucking, like, all of it is just like, yeah, we were just all up in the trap. But yeah, so the DEI council you sat on was like a remix of the one I was on. Well, I think you and I were both on the DEI together.
Yeah, we were.
We both joined.
You're the only reason why I joined.
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
We both hopped up off that thing, though. Yeah, I was like,
y'all just doing a lot of talking for me.
Yeah.
Like, no. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like in these meetings suddenly, and this is on top of just my regular work that I have to do, but I'm just like in these meetings talking to the executive team about ways that they can do better and giving suggestions. One of the main things I said was like, you guys need to start giving time off for like voting days and like election days. Like, you don't provide anything. I had previously, before 2021, when Juneteenth was made a federal holiday, I had taken Juneteenth off for like the 5 years and used my own vacation time.
Didn't you suggest that to them?
Yes.
Before it was made a holiday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Continue.
Like, literally, like, in every single conversation I had, I was like, can you guys make this a company holiday and pay people to have this off? Like, this is a really important holiday. And it was always like, yeah, we're like you're looking into some things about it. Like, you know, so we'll work. Yeah. So I'm like having all these conversations and offering all of these suggestions. And I think they were just taking pieces from what I was saying and doing whatever cost them the least. You know what I mean? So it was like, I hear what you're saying about making it a company holiday, but what do you think about pizza day? What do you think about more pizza days at work? Or how about this one was crazy. Let's do a special Black newsletter. Well, we'll put out a newsletter all about Black news that's happening right now. And so they wanted to do a special edition newsletter.
Are you serious?
Yes, and they asked me to do it.
Is this on the committee or
it was coming out? It was coming via the diversity council. So, but I was like assigned to do everything where blackness was concerned. So they were like, you do it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, so I end up doing this whole newsletter, and like this is where you talk about like emotional labor.
Yeah.
Like I think there was somebody else helping me with the newsletter, but they were doing one part, but I had to do like all this other stuff. And the newsletter was like a special edition newsletter that was supposed to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, and then in it they wanted a list of like all the victims of police brutality or something. So I had like 25 names, and I had to list out each person's name and like when they died.
How did you feel about this newsletter being predominantly about blackness in totality? Did it, because listening now, it kind of raises a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Because why does it have to be separate?
Right. Why is it a special edition?
Why is it like,
yeah. Y'all done made the newsletter tokenism. Like, how did you make tokenism out of the newsletter too?
Yeah.
Like, yes, it was the token black newsletter.
We're going to pull this certain segment out and make it.
Because there was already a newsletter that went out.
Not just, if you want to talk about real DEI.
Yeah, just put this in every newsletter.
Thank you.
Put things like this in all of the newsletters. But it's like, but that's the trap. Is like, we only want to talk about it at this specific time in this specific way, and then we want to go back to like normal life. So that was a fucking red flag.
And that's how I feel about Black History Month.
Yeah, it's like you just know it.
It's just this 1 month.
Just know Black history.
Yeah, but it's just this 1 month and that's it. No, it's.
And I don't like that it's the shortest month.
Thank you.
You know exactly what the fuck you were doing with that.
It's every month for me.
Right. And it should be that way for everybody.
It you know what I mean? For that goddamn newsletter too.
The other issue with all of this is that they weren't doing anything outwardly to like.
They're just keeping it in house.
Yes. So they didn't want to signal anything to like the public that this is where we're at as a company, and this is something that we value and care about. It was, we're just trying to keep the peace at the work and like have this be like an internal conversation that we're having to make it look like we care about employees.
So while you were doing the newsletter, how did you feel about that? Like,
I will say, when I actually sat down to write the memorial, I was like sobbing. Like,
so now there's
Breonna Taylor, Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, George Floyd.
So now there's an emotional and mental labor of doing something that you're not being paid for because you're the token.
Yes, I'm the token black person. So it's just like, I am actually the one suffering the most, and I'm doing the most work.
Did they ever check in with you? Like,
no.
Of course not. During this time, I remember that you and I had quite a few conversations in terms of you know, always being the firm one and the outspoken one.
Yeah.
And did you ever like receive any type of, I don't want to say backlash, but did you ever feel like you had to be tone policed when you were?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I was always getting told that like I was coming across aggressive, where I was just like being assertive about things that were happening at work that I didn't think were right. So the company already didn't have this proclivity of outspokenness. Like, this was not a company that was socially aware. This was not a place that thrived on people expressing themselves like about social issues at work. And there were so many times where I would just like point out blatant injustices or things that were happening at work that were just like fucked up. And I was told like, oh, you really like, you're just coming across a little bit like strong. It's like a little aggressive. It's a little aggressive. And
so they tone policed you.
Yeah.
But then want to use you for special editions.
Yeah. You know what I always would hear was when I would get in, when they would do this thing where I would like be like, no, like this was really messed up and you really like, you guys need to fix this, like this was messed up.
Right.
And they would be like, okay, well, you're coming across like a little aggressive. Like, just like be that like how you usually are, where you're just like, you know, you're just so like laid back and you're so like, that voice and you have, that demeanor sweet. You have, and it's like, what do you fucking mean by that?
No,
like that is not a real fucking like thing to ask a human being, to be like, hey, I know that you're upset, but can you just not sound upset?
And it's not even upset. You're stating, you're calling something out and you're letting it be known
that was wrong.
That it was wrong.
Yeah.
And it needs to be fixed. That's it.
Yeah. Super assertive professional. There's a reason why I had the job for, 11 years and didn't get fired. It's because I know what I'm doing. I know how to speak. I know how to conduct myself. Like,
and for your job, it requires that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It literally requires to you to point out specific detail.
Yeah, no, literally quality control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge aspect of my job. So, and that a lot of quality control is like correcting other people. That's a whole nother thing too, because there's so many people that did not like me being the one that corrected them. They did not want to hear it from someone like me. They wanted to hear it from like a white man or something. Like the same. Like, yes. Yeah.
I say one thing, and because it's me, a black woman, it's not,
I have no credibility with them.
Yeah, it's not received. But when the next person says it,
they're like,
"Oh, now I get what you're saying."
Yeah, that happened to me all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. It was crazy, and I know women in general experience that, but it's just like an added layer. I think, like when you're a black woman, where it's just like, what the fuck?
It's like, motherfucker, what did I just say?
Yeah, I just said that. I just
said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, that was just like a very, that was par for the course at this job. Like before the protests hit, like it was not a socially conscious company at all. And I was one of those people that was always told like, okay, you're just being a little too passionate. Like, calm down. Yeah.
That actually like pisses me off.
I know. So the newsletter comes out, and it was a really emotionally laborious thing for me to do. Looking back, I should not have done it. I shouldn't have written it. I think that the experience at the time for myself, I don't want to speak for all black people, but especially for me, I was teetering between this line of hopelessness and hopefulness, where there were some days where I'm like, maybe things are actually going to change, like in the world and at work. And then other days I was like, you don't fucking get it. Like I remember sitting in a diversity council meeting after the protest started, and there was somebody who was also a part of diversity council, and it was a white woman, and she said, well, we really need to understand too where the police are coming from, because this is a scary time for them. Yeah, no, with a straight face.
What? Was this on a call?
Yeah, it was on the Zoom call, because everything was like Zoom
because of
COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a Zoom call, and it was like crickets.
When she said it?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is she talking about?
Yeah. Very like Police Lives Matter coded.
Very blue bracelet. And
it's just like, it was just, you don't need to advocate for police lives because they're not under attack.
No.
And when a police officer is killed, they're immediately memorialized. When a black person or anybody is killed by the police, they're immediately vilified. Mm-hmm. So now we have to have this entire fucking movement and this entire fucking discourse to explain to you dumbasses that, hello, that life actually matters. So I don't know, don't vilify it. Don't just kill people because of the way they fucking look. Like, and
it's not just that life, it's like that black life. Hence why they had to put Black Lives Matter in front of it.
Because you vilify.
Exactly.
Like, I do not remember this young man's name. It was like he had like 3 names. It was like, I can't remember, but it was in Texas, I remember, and it was a white female police officer that broke down his door. She went into the wrong fucking house, went into his apartment instead of her own, and she killed him. And the news was like covering it about how he had weed in his apartment. And it's like, this man was home alone doing nothing, and a police officer broke into his house and killed him. What is the conversation that we're having right now?
There's no debate for that.
So why are we talking about police lives matter when this is the story that gets framed in the news? Mm-hmm. And she only got 10 years for breaking and entering and then killing somebody.
A murderer.
Yeah. And you're sitting on this fucking diversity call saying, but the police are really scared right now too.
Girl, how did you not hang up out of that call?
I don't know how I didn't quit that year, actually.
Yeah, that's insane.
I should have left the company. You know, we talked about in the Thailand incident episode of how that was really the trajectory of our downfall at that company. It should have been
for you. It should have been
for me. It should have been 2020.
Yeah,
because you have to remember, I grew up at this company, so I had spent formative years there. I was real locked in with it, and that was probably like the first disillusionment and disenchantment that I had there, where I was just like, this is a bad place. This is a bad place. So, but you know, the newsletter came out, and you know, it was emotionally taxing, but I was proud of the work that I did, because I did speak out about this in a place that traditionally had not made space for it. So I was proud of that. And again, teetering on the line of hopefulness and hopelessness.
So I read that 36% of Black women feel like it's their duty to be the spokesperson for their race. Did you feel that way when you were doing the special edition?
Yes.
And when it released, did you find like comfort and praise in what you did? Like, did you achieve that goal and help creating it, or did you feel like, okay, they used me for this and I don't see progression?
Yeah. So I think it was both, because I am always proud and happy to speak up for Black people. Mm-hmm. I care deeply about Black people's experiences and our story, and I'm always like proud to tell that, especially in a space where it's not being talked about.
Right.
But I don't like being the spokesperson for Black people. I don't like being the only one. I don't like being, some Black people thrive on that. We knew a few at our job. They loved being the only one in that space, to the point where if you came in
and disrupted that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's like that really is a symptom of white supremacy, because you have gotten it in your Black head that
you're the only one.
And like, they've made you feel like that. And it's like, no. We're just like all supposed to be normally distributed.
And I know who you're talking about, but see, that person was doing it from a perspective of just them, not a perspective of all Black people,
right?
Where you were doing it for the culture and for other Black employees, and it's a complete.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They actually didn't want to be associated with Blackness
at all,
other than like it getting them in the door
Yeah.
to like be in singular positions.
Only if it helped them.
Only if it helped them. Yes. That is a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother
we could get into because it is actually it stuns me. It stuns me.
It was the first thing I actually noticed
about them.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh God, y'all.
It's giving complex.
Yeah. Yes. I don't even know what we're gonna call that person. It's gonna be Real Housewives of Atlanta coded, I think, but I don't even know who we're gonna call. But anyways, so yeah, like I felt both. I felt that familiar trap that like, yeah, you just made me do a bunch of shit because I'm black and it sucked that I had to do it. But I am black.
Yeah. And
I care about the discourse that's happening around my life and my experience. So
you're going to speak about it.
And I'm going to speak about it. But it just, yeah, it's fucking, that's why we call it a trap.
You did get trapped.
God damn it. This is Yap Me Baby Podcast, and you've been listening to part 1 of the Tokenism Trap. Catch us next week on Spotify and YouTube, where we get into part 2 and go over all of the lore in the second part of the story. Thank you guys for listening. See you next week. Bye.